boy Skinny Moose. I brought on the owner and the promoter of AWR Wrestling. A pretty fucking intense promotion, Gary Emmitt. Now, there's a story behind this. Something for Gary to laugh at me about. I used to always get Gary Emmitt and Emerald J fucking mixed up.
Man, it happens, man. I get mixed up with a lot of people in this industry, so but it's fine with me. I mean, I've had my own wrestlers mess up my initials, so it's okay. It happens, man.
So, what made you start AWR and them boy security?
Oh, okay. Well, AWR came after Dim Boy Security. Well, technically, the name Dim Boy Security and stuff came later, but the security thing, I've been doing security now for I want to say 11 years. So that started. It's a funny story. I won't put the person's name in it, but it's a promoter that got me into it. And a lot of people know from if they're on my Facebook, which most of them are, they know I did security for Jelly Roll. I've done security for Kasky. I've done security for Doobie. I've done security for Sada Baby. I've done security for Montana 300, Shaggy Two Dope, like a lot of people. So, so the first time, like it was before the first time, I was at a show where Jelly Roll was involved. He wasn't the headliner, but he was involved. I've always been a Jelly Roll fan. I still help take care of Jelly Roll's group that's like 50,000 strong. I've always been around him before Jelly Roll was the Jelly Roll that everybody knows now. So I showed up to a show. Security wasn't doing their job for a certain person. And I thought, since I was already backstage and knew the right people, I thought I should just go ahead and take care of this situation myself. When I took care of this situation myself, like a month later, I get a phone call from a promoter friend of mine who was like, "Man, you handled yourself very well." He said, "How would you like start working security?" So
Fuck yeah.
that was just like venue security for him at a venue, and then next thing you know, it blossomed into getting independent bookings from artists and companies and like nightclubs and bars, and I've done a car show that's owned by a multimillionaire that had me carrying around an automatic shotgun, and that was a
Fuck
wild.
yeah.
That's a whole different lane than the wrestling stuff. But the wrestling came from me and my partner. A lot of people who don't like to be like really face of the company type shit. That's why I ended up, I guess, being the face of the company. But he came to me one time. I've said this many times, but the questions came to me a couple times. So he came to me and he's a promoter of like concerts and stuff. And he was like, "Man, I want to do something different." I said, "What do you mean you want to do different?" He said, "I want to do something different than concerts. Concerts getting played out. I want to do something I've never done." I said, "Bro, why don't you try independent wrestling?" Because I knew he's a wrestling fan. I've always been a wrestling fan. He's like, "Man, I ain't Vince McMahon." I said, "No, bro. Just like these local like musicians and stuff." I had to totally break down independent wrestling to him and how it worked and stuff like that. Because I've always been influenced by the business and promotion. I've been around music since I was 16. So I gave him the idea. He went and did it. He's my boy, so I can talk shit at the same time about. He went and tried it with another promoter because he felt like with both of us not being in the industry, we need someone around the industry. So he went and tried it without me with someone else. The show changed, something happened, something bad happened. Wrestlers were advertised that wasn't there, like a whole bunch of shit, and it caused him to, take a L and he came back to me and he was just like, "Bro, I tried that shit. That didn't work." I said, "Okay, let's try it our way. Let me and you do it." So we did it. And long story short, 6 years later, we're about to do maybe the final tournament.
I gotta get one of your boys on. I gotta get Del Patrick if he'll do an interview.
And that's
Yes, I fucking
as
love
we've
the
said,
leather daddy. I love the
uh,
leather daddy.
as we've
He's
said
fucking
from day
crazy.
one, as we've said
He's
from day
fucking
one,
crazy.
that's AWR's baby boy. When I came in, I will full fledged shoot from the hip like I always do. Del Patrick's is the reason AWR started doing deathmatch. Because people that know us before we did our very first deathmatch, like the first two events, was no hardcore, was nothing because my partner was worried liability wise. because he was new to the independent wrestling, let alone new to deathmatch. When he seen the first few death matches we did, my partner never watched. He went away from it. He was skittish of it. He always thought it was an insurance liability. So when I finally talked him into doing it, I showed him Dell. I told him, man, he's an Indiana guy that has never really got the respect that he fucking deserved. And he was like, okay, so how do we do this? And then next thing you know, and like I think our third show, we did like a light death match with the fans bring the weapons. It was supposed to be Del Patrick's and Corporal Robinson because we were doing some stuff with Corp. We were leading into the first tournament. The whole story was going to be, which ended up being Del Patrick's versus Corp, which Corp is the gimmick dad of Del Patrick's. So that's where we were going with it, and we started off. Corp couldn't make it to the show, regardless reason why, whatever. So we filled it up with an Indiana name that was really close with Del Patrick's, and that's Joey Owens. He runs a promotion here called WCW. So we went with him. He doesn't really do deathmatch. He does hardcore, but he came in with the Dell, did it with Dell, and everything. I mean, if you watch AWR and you follow AWR, you will understand why Del Patrick is who we say he is. He is AWR's baby boy. He is now a partner in AWR. So it's like that. That's my brother. Like we do security together. That's where them boys came from. Because
I
I'm a big
seen that he got his own little spot in a office or whatever in AWR, and I was like, I commented on his post. I was like, "Fuck yeah, congratulations!
yeah. Well, see,
This
the
is well
thing with it
deserved."
is, Dell's got the brain for it. And just Dell never had the opportunity to like get gave the book or get gave the leadership of the locker room or get gave that. So I was like, hey, you want to do this shit here? Like, help me, motherfucker. I'm promoter, I'm booker, I'm graphic designer half the time. We really in house over here with this. Like, literally, you know from speaking to me personally, my daughters help make deathmatch weapons. If it ain't for the
Yeah, you
deathmatch
told
thing,
me that.
Indrid, shout out Indrid, he's a beast. But my daughters help with this shit. We really do. I was just printing shirts the other day when I talked to you. So we really
Yep.
do everything in the house over here. This ground up type shit. So that's them boys. The end of the question. Them boys. The name came from me and Dell. I had Dell work security with me a couple times. He really got into it, and someone asked the promoter, "Hey, who runs your security?" He's like, "Man, you really need to holler at them boys." And when he said that, me and Dell were big fans of the Briscoe brothers, and this was before the brother passed. And so yeah, I was like, man, we're keeping that. We're them boys security. So now it's them boys.
And I think it's really good, like a promoter that's a wrestler or has wrestlers, helping him. Like Tremont has, he's a wrestler, but he's also the promoter, Danny D'Amano. Because if you're a wrestler and a promoter, or if you're like, have you're a promoter and you have a partner that's in it with you, like Dale, they got that experience, so they can also wing out and expand and give that promoter, if he don't wrestle or she don't wrestle, other ideas. I'm like, hey, how would you like to do this for this match? And they're like, well, I've been in this match. It didn't go too well. From personal experience, let's do it this way. So I like that.
Yeah,
Um,
I will say like I see both edges of the sword because first of all, my half of it, most of my wrestlers, if we can pull back that curtain a little bit, will tell you I've told every wrestler since day one when they ask me what they want with their match, I'm not a wrestler. I'm not going to tell you how to do your motherfucking job. I'm not going to tell you I want 15 drop kicks, a moonsault, a super. Bro, I don't know that. I don't know if that's going to flow. I don't know if that, I'm learning. I jumped over the guardrail. So I don't know that. You lead that, and then Dell's position is to help anybody that can't lead themselves in a match with somebody else or two people that can't lead a match. Dell is that knowledgeable guy that if you look at Dell's career, he's wrestled every style damn near. Dell's in Japan as we speak, so
oh
there's a
shit.
reason.
I seen Pondo's post, but I didn't know when he was going back. I didn't see the date or not. Apparently, they're already over there. So, congratulations to Dale for going back.
I do believe this is the
Um,
second trip. And I'm very proud of him, man. Me and him has had those conversations where that was a very big goal of his, and I kept telling him it's going to happen, man. It's about time. There's like nobody can deny, especially in the last like I say 3 years, the push Del Patrick has been on. So it's about time. Next thing you know, he's over there going on the second or third time right now. So shout out my brother. I love him to death, man. That's big guy for real. They call me big dude. That's big guy. That's my brother.
I don't have this question wrote down, and you do not have to answer it. But can I ask you why you're like taking a break from AWR, or why you don't want to run anymore? Or
Yeah. I'll shoot. If you ask, I'm gonna, shoot from the. If I gotta guard myself for certain things because of how the public and people are nowadays, I will. But I'm gonna shoot from the motherfucking hip, and everybody knows it. First of all, I have something. Most people that know me, I have chronic pancreatitis. It
yeah,
came from years of fucking drinking. I don't drink no more. I've slipped up. I was sober for like 7 years. I drank a little bit on a fucked up night that I shouldn't have, and it fucked me up again. So now I'm reworking on my countdown again. But if I drink, if not even if I drink, bro, if I eat wrong or I stress out too bad, I can end up in the hospital for like 3 to 7 days. There's other wrestlers
Jesus.
that I know that has the same problem. It's been made known public, and I've spoken to some of them about it. So it's a fucked up situation. So with that coming from stress and shit, there's some operations and stuff I have to take care of. And me working a daytime gimmick, me owning a security company and going on tours and doing all this stuff, I don't have a lot of time to worry about my three daughters and my wife, my health, my mental health. I don't have time to do shit but wipe my ass, feed myself, smoke a little weed, and go to bed.
I
So
understand that.
I feel like that mixed with a little tiny percentage of that I'm not built for this industry. A lot of people know certain conversations and certain events I've went through and stuff. I'm not built like most of these people in this industry that just like to get all involved in drama and bullshit and talk shit. And no, that's not me. So I really think for my mental health in this situation and my kid's future that it's good before I step away, before I do something or act a way that this industry will not accept. We'll put it in as PG standards as I can.
That that's a damn good answer. That's a damn good answer. Like,
Now, I
you
will. I
know,
will say one thing. Like I've told everybody, I'm not saying goodbye. This is wrestling. This is fucking wrestling, and I know that without me even trying the first Terry Funk yet and walk away. I know that there's a chance that if I get healthy and I get clear minded and everything goes the way it's supposed to go, that I'll probably be back. But right now, man, I need some time. I've done what I wanted to do as a promoter. I could shut AWR right now and not even do ADT, which we are. Don't take this as anybody if this airs before ADT. We are doing ADT. But I'd be happy, man. There's no fan that jumped in this industry and did what I did with no knowledge of it. If so, correct me and show me. I had no ties to the wrestling industry before I came in. I had no playing a computer game called EWR Extreme Warfare Reunion where you book wrestling companies and own it. I had no experience. Came in here and we banged the fuck out. We put on the map. As what's been said to me, when you talk Indiana wrestling now, it ain't just another company in the Mid South. Everybody knows about AWR, and I get asked about it all the time.
that's what I want to do. I want to promote a show one time. But
Run,
like,
don't do.
but like, I can't wrestle, so that's why I went into podcast. I have a permanent scar on my fucking head, like right here. When I was younger, I got hit with an aluminum ball bat and actually dent the motherfucker. And
No,
somebody
no
told Will the
wonder that little
Slugger,
smack didn't do nothing to you.
And when Louisville Slugger actually found out, I used to have the ball bat that they sent me. They sent me something like a ball bat and something else. It was way a long time ago, and they was like, "You're the first person to ever dent our ball bats." And I started of going down a fucking hill on an electric scooter, no helmet. I mean, splitting my head open, and
Yeah,
my nose ain't right, needs surgery, but I said, fuck that surgery. It's a 50-50 chance of me dying. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. And then I have some type of stomach disease that I can't even fucking pronounce. It's like gastronova or some shit like that. So I can't eat certain foods. You can't have nothing hot, nothing spicy. Certain things I can't have. And if I get too stressed out or something, then most of the time I'll puke, and I'm like, well, then I'll just go into something that I can do. I could be a podcaster. And Delaware Mike, another podcaster who works with Justin Valencio, he's like, he seen me out at Cup. He's like, you've never been to a live show? I'm like, nope. He's like, that's surprising. You know so much about wrestling, so much about these wrestlers and promoters, and never been to a show. I'm like, that's my comfort zone. That's what makes me happy. I, I,
it
I
was a
grew up
dream
on
for me, man.
wrestling.
Do it. Hey, I know I told you to run, but do it. Do it one time just so you can say you did it. And I mean, I'm gonna tell you from being one of those fans that did it, run, but bro, at least do it one time. At least live your dream. That's what I've educated my kids. And my daughter wrote a story about me in school about AWR and stuff. My oldest, and she said the biggest thing I learned from my father is to follow your dreams, no matter if you succeed or fail. It's the fact that you went after what you wanted to do, brother. That's all that matters at the end of the day.
Hell yeah, she should write a book about you.
Yeah, man, half the shit you don't want to write. This industry be canceling people over stupid shit. So not all stupid shit. Let me say that, but bruh, man, the stuff I've seen some people almost get canceled over. Y'all wouldn't want to know me before the wrestling industry, bro. Half y'all
I'm
people, half y'all people who
I'm
canceled me.
sorry, but it's 2024 and people are too fucking woke these days.
Man, yeah, once again, I'm a type and it got me in trouble, but I'm gonna say it in a different format, and I'm not gonna speak on the people or the person I said it about. But everybody's gotta respect everybody's beliefs. I grew up in a real strong Christian family house, and I studied other religions, and I believe what I believe in. But if someone ain't working customer service, ain't working all this stuff, if someone believes different from you, you ain't gotta act a donkey about it. You ain't got, hey, just accept them from them and let them live their life over there. Now if it affects your life or it affects everybody else's well-being mentally and physically, that's something that needs to matter. That is a good part of certain woke stuff. But man, if it's just people living their life and they don't live it the way you do, bro, just ignore the motherfuckers, man. That's why I don't get
That's
all up in
true.
the drama and shit. I don't care about the capacity. I don't care about who's pulling the most. I don't care. Is the show good? Did the fans have fun and had their money worth? That's all the fuck that matters, bro. All that other shit is the promoter's, job to worry about that. All you worry about if you like the wrestling, you go to the shows, buy the merch, buy the streams, support them so they can keep putting on more product. Other than that, if you don't like them, don't. I mean, everybody's in value to their opinion, and I understand that, and that's the world we live in. But man, I always go back to the internet thing when I was growing up. People got punched in the mouth for saying some stuff. People got pulled up on for saying stuff. Some people on the internet got real big fucking mouths and think that keyboard saves they fucking ass. But that's just my opinion. This is
You are
I ain't
speaking the
nobody.
goddamn God's honest truth, bro. Too many
Uh,
motherfucking keyboard warriors. Too many keyboard warriors. But then when you roll up on them, they're like, they don't know what to fucking do.
Yeah, we've had a
Man,
couple of those incidents in wrestling already, and a lot of people stirred rumors about me and my partner when we first started, and a lot of people know about certain situations that's happened at shows with us and after shows with us. We don't handle situations the same as a lot of these other people.
So, do you have a favorite AWR tournament that you've ran?
Yeah, it's hard because I want to say one because the first one I had a roster that I didn't know I had. If you look back
Oh,
at one, if I could rebook, how about put it like that? If I could rebook the same roster with any tournament, it'd be one because that was like talent wise, it was the best like names, the best pull out I want to say we had on any tournament. I don't know numbers that well. I get them at the show, but after like a month, I don't give a fuck. But after I get the money and shit from it, I don't give a fuck. Uh, the one had so many names. I had Marcus Crane. I had, the rejects. I had the hooligan, Black. I had Aiden. I had Dale. I had Corp. I had G Raver. Sorry for anybody that don't like the guy, but that's regardless. The roster that we had for ADT one, I did not know we had. We had Akira's first American Deathmatch tournament. You know,
oh
we
shit!
he had all these, and I didn't know what the fuck I had. Now looking back at it, the end of the tournament might have been the same, but there would have been a lot of different bookings and the different, matches that happened. The way they happened would have been a lot different. But
Didn't you?
overall favorite would have to be, even though there was a lot of drama involved in it, would have to be ADT, the Marion County
Didn't you have
Fairgrounds.
Necro in the first one, or was it the?
We had Metro in the third one, and that was
That
really
was the
what.
third.
Yeah, yeah, that was. It's hard to pick your babies, but the reason I say two, all my tournaments later now, I would change something, and that's just the perfectionist in me and making it better. But two was just two. We were at our peak. Two was the hottest we had. Two, we rented the Marion County Fairgrounds out. We invited all the other companies to come out because we wanted to give the independent fans a good ass fucking weekend. We wanted to bang out for the Indiana fans that didn't get to see the companies, most of the companies that came to that weekend. Even without the drama and the bullshit they got stirred that weekend, that's overall my favorite weekend.
Um, what is the worst or major injuries that you've seen being a promoter?
Oh fuck! Everybody knows the first one, and I gotta say it first because I get asked this question by people that I don't know that even don't even know the product. Is when Akira almost died due to unsafe glass in ATD one to Peter B.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was
That
surprised, I was surprised that ain't further down the list, maybe as a question or something, because every podcast I do, I normally get asked this question about Peter B almost killing Akira in ADT one. That was the worst. That was the worst, even to this day. Like it's just how it happened, the details which I've went over millions of times. The glass I knew was not safe. I put in a throwaway pile. Me being the only person, if you know AWR, I'm the only person that handles the locker room. So because the match happened when I was handling other situations, I did not see the glass get taken out. And then when next thing I know, people are screaming, "Holy fuck, Akira got cut." I'm in the locker room at that time. I
oh
run
shit.
out. I see what's going on. I see him bleeding like a stuffed pig from his wrist. And I'm sitting there trying to give the ref the signal, go home, go home. They didn't go home. The ref didn't. I don't know the details. Once again, I'm not going to speak on shit I don't know. But I know the match continued. He went through a second pain, cut his thigh. The match ended. He went to the back. They're checking on his wrist, and he says, "It took to the effect that how what'd you think? He wanted the promoters input on what I thought about the match. I was like, "Are you okay?" And he's holding his wrist. He said, "It's just a little cut. It's okay." I said, "I'm not talking about that one, bro." And right on the top of his fucking leg, when I tell you it looked like a vagina, it was a straight to the white meat vagina. It
Oh
was.
shit.
I'm like, I'm talking about that, and he goes, "Oh fuck!" And then they start going at it, and Jeff Wilbridge. I know I'm probably mutilating his last name. The guy that shot the documentary about deathmatch. He was there actually shooting footage for the documentary or something, and he was actually the main one with other people to help bandage him up to that. That's probably the worst one. We've had. I wouldn't say luckily it ain't been worse than that, but I mean there was Percy Drews cut his hand smacking Akira with a light tube. There ain't been nothing too bad. Luckily, let me knock on wood because we are about to
Yeah,
have a
thank
tournament.
God.
So we're about to have a tournament in 3 days. But yeah, the Akira injury would definitely be the worst one that I've been a part and around.
I don't know how you feel about Deep South, but I was out there and this weekend, Saturday. It was no. It could have happened to anybody at any promotion. Honestly, I gotta admit, it was a light. It was a light tube match, so it could have happened to anybody. But Satu Jin and Bryant Woods was going at it, and they used like a big old fucking bundle. Like it had to be at least 100 tubes, and Bryant Woods fell on it. Sato, tossed him under or whatever, and it took out his whole eye, and he had his eye covered up. Sato had like a big old thing like that, and on his arm here and his nipple, and I'm like, that's non-preventable. You'll see that in a regular promotion. Of course, it's
I
light
mean,
tubes.
just to the point like this, and when I was talking about Percy Drews, from my understanding, unless it's something different, he got cut when he's swinging a tube or he's doing a move onto a tube. It cut the back of his hand. You know, so
Shit.
people remember me, the ADT moment when I come out and smack Jim Cornhole with light tubes, bat with light tubes on it. Both the palms of my hands were cut up. Not bad, not but man, it's not like it's meant to happen. There is incidents that can be prevented, like referees smashing tubes during death matches. If you can point my voice to referees out there that see this, if you're doing the match, I don't care if you work for me, if you work for anybody in England, Canada, whatever. If you're doing a death match where there's light tubes, step on the fucking tubes. But
Yeah, or
there's some,
kick them out of the ring.
yeah, do something, get them out of harm's way because I've seen it happen.
Yeah,
So
like that's one thing I gotta admit out at Deep South. A lot of marks want to, talk about it. But one of the guys, like, one of that Tyler Becker or that's the co-owner or Kevin or something.
yeah.
One, they was grabbing the light tubes and pulling them out, or the referee was kicking them out and they was kicking them underneath the ring apron. I was like, it's not that bad as everybody judges. You just gotta go out there and actually see it. Go
So
ahead,
I'm not
sorry.
going to judge them, but I know people that have worked with them. I know their political views or whatever is talked about
Oh
on the
yeah.
internet. I don't. Now I'll tell you some of the shit I don't agree with because how I was raised and where I was raised. So there's certain things I don't agree with. But if I don't know your product, I ain't going to speak about it. Hopefully, the people that got injured, Satu definitely exposed anybody injured or hurt, hurt to the point that they needed extra attention. Hopefully, everything get good. I know Satu. Satu is the only professional wrestler that I've ever let roll my blunt.
Sato, honestly, he let him like butterfly stitch his arm, but his nipple, they wouldn't let him touch it. He wouldn't let him touch it, and he took off. I'm
Like
like,
that, like
eh,
the nipple part, bro. Like that gets me. Like the normal gas, I've seen people's stuff. I remember when Akira got the big hole in him, and he hit me up about the big hole on him, and I was like, I just want to put my finger in it. But the nipple, though, the nipple,
yes.
bro,
At
that get
first,
me.
I thought because Sadisto's like their CNA, he's also the manager for Little Sicko, and he's also the ref. And I was like, "Are you talking about his chest?" He said, "No, Moose. His actual nipple was cut." I'm like, "Oh shit."
I would straight up, and I try to help clean people up. Once again, I do anything I can to help. I don't know about other promoters that just sit in the back and get high, but I might do that too. But I'll do some shit. Man, I could not help somebody clean their nipple. I would just be in too much pain of seeing someone's nipple cut open to be able to be any fucking help in that situation at all.
I mean, yeah, I've seen the things that go on, like what Kevin said about that part. But I've never seen the other half of who he was talking to, so all I've seen was Kevin's messages. And I'm like, it didn't come from Chondo, and everybody has all these messages, but I cannot find the one who actually started the conversation. So I'm like,
Well, once again, I don't get involved in that stuff. I know there was, certain things about race and people's, sexual orientation, which I feel is nothing to be involved with wrestling. So I know some things that there's people close to me, that go through sorrows and problems dealing with people like that. So I'll tell you personally, I don't agree with it. But once again, that's not the company that I run. I don't watch their product. A couple of my friends have worked for them, and I've seen the matches, and they were banger ass death matches. I ain't gonna lie,
yeah,
But bro, as a company, I've learned in a certain situation, sometimes you got to keep your personal opinions away from your company, and this ain't coming from someone just in the wrestling industry. I've worked security for people that are enemies of my friends because of political beliefs. So there's a fine line between love and hate. So
yeah. There's
if
two things that I really
I
don't
can't
talk about
support
in my
nobody
house.
that supports pain to others unless it's for a good reason. I can say.
There's two things I will not talk about in my house, and I will not let nobody talk about, and that's religion and politics. It
I
don't
don't.
matter. It's
I
going to
run a
break out in
pawn
an argument.
shop. I run a phone store now. When I'm at concerts working security, and I get it all the time. Political and religion, I will not talk about because regardless, somebody's gonna get mad, and it ain't gonna
Yep.
be. It ain't gonna be something that can be worked out in words. I'm a debater. I got a mouthpiece on me. I will argue with you all fucking day. So if I feel like if I'm that way, I know a lot of other people are, and I can't take arguing that damn long. You gonna punch me
If
or you
I
gonna shut up?
yes, sir.
You
If I'm right and I know I'm goddamn right, and you persist to argue with me. Fuck it, let's throw goddamn hands.
that's how I was raised.
So, in your opinion, what's the craziest deathmatch stipulation that you've ever done?
I ever did. Oh man. Stipulation would be a tie between shit tons of glass, which is now like our final that we do, which accidentally happened. Like we got the thing for and um, pools of fuckery. When we did it with
Full of
Mickey
fucking
and Akira, which everybody, if you see our YouTube, besides Mickey and Casanova, Mickey and Akira is our number one fucking video. Everybody I threw that. I knew throwing that up on YouTube, it was going to be in a wild, wild situation. But the shit tons of glasses because how I won't say I came up with it. I seen, and I don't know the promotion. I said this to someone today or yesterday. I don't know the promotion. It was a Japan promotion. I see them take the canvas and the apron off, and they put broken glass all over. And
Oh
so
shit!
we had shit tons of glass. The first one was the hooligans versus the rejects. And immediately after the match, it wasn't no round skip or nothing. Immediately after the match, whoever won had to fight each other for the next round.
Oh
So when
shit!
we did that, they used so many. When I tell you they used so many tools, we had two construction boxes full of T12, and we used some in other matches too. But when they got done, there wasn't a clean spot in that venue. I seen a fan get hit with a 6-inch tube to the face, and he started screaming, "Fuck yeah!" So the next year, I wanted to try to figure out a way to top it. Like I loved that match. Let's make it the final, but how do we top it? And I was watching old clips, and I saw a Japan match, and they did that. They pulled it off right before the match or during the match. They pulled off everything, poured glass on the fucking things. I'm like, bro, nobody's doing that shit. Nobody is doing that here. So I'm like, why don't we take shit tons of glass to the next level? And I was trying to come up with different ideas. And believe me when I tell you, I had the dumbest, but yet at the moment I thought was I wanted to Taipei the turnbuckles and put glass on them. I wanted to like.
Damn.
I'm not saying that's not possible still, and if anybody stole my fucking idea, you heard it here. But then the idea came, why don't we just yank the shit off pre-match and save broken tempered glass and pour it all over the boards? And then that's when shit tons of glass was born, the actual shit tons of glass. I've had ideas of having it in a cage. I've got a whole bunch of different versions of it, but I'm saving some up.
You need to set that up for the show coming up this Friday. That type A glass. Yes, please. Come on.
I'm not saying I won't because I had a fan one time tell me a couple of days before a certain show that he wanted to see a sandpaper Taipei match.
Oh, fuck.
And so it wasn't the main gimmick, but I think it was in the Battle Royal, the Fuckery Rumble, which we got 2 shows I haven't released yet. I'll update everybody probably later on in this that, all 3 shows with ADT 5 will be out after ADT 5. But in one of those, we had a fuckery like Royal Rumble, and 2 of the participants came out with sandpaper and did the Taipei game. So
Oh, that's fucking
man,
cool.
don't tempt me because I'm like, especially with this might be my last show for at least a little bit. I don't need them damn turnbuckles after this show, so I can glue a whole bunch of glass at that bitch, and it ain't gonna hurt me none.
I would say something that pertains to fire, but fire's one of those things that either people love or hate. But depending on who you are, I'd say fucking soak the goddamn turnbuckles in gasoline.
Now I'll tell you like this: I'm not opposed. I've told people before as a promoter, I will not do spots just for the sake of spots, just for the sake of ooh, like certain people and taking needles to certain parts of their body just for the
Mm,
sake of gore. The
mm,
mouth spot. I never dogged that. That was a hot spot
mm.
back in the day, and it still is considered a hot spot today. When you pull out your wee
Nope.
wee and take a needle through it, that we'd lost wrestling right there. To me, my opinion of wrestling. Let me put that out there.
That that that.
So fire, I've always told everybody I will do fire when I 100% have faith that we can do it correctly without anybody getting injured. At the end of the day, I'm always that way. When people can speak up for me. Well, man, I don't tell anybody to do any spot. They tell me the spots they want to do, and I'm like, fuck it, go ahead. If you want to do that shit, fucking do it. And I'm
The
not gonna stop you.
So since you brought up the needle and the part, I forgot all about that shit. And one night I was sitting down watching the show, and I was like, okay, I remember the body of Big After Joe. It was like a few months afterwards, and I had a lot of stuff going on then. And I watch it, and he just, damn, I'm like, oh my god, this shit ain't even censored or anything else. What in the fuck am I watching?
I know
I was like,
entertainment value, and I understand once again being with security. I've seen stuff that artists do for attention and do for a pop and do for a get over moment, and I understand that, but it's just not my cup of tea. What like I look for in a death match, I like wrestling death matches. I don't, no spot, no shot at anybody that does the hack and slash because I think certain people when they do the hack and slash, it's good for their style. That's what they work and they make it and they tell their story. But bro, taking a needle to the dick, bro, it just didn't do nothing for me. It's just like that, like you said, it was a what the fuck, and then
no, it
damn,
might
it
happen.
was a quick reaction, and that's all it got from me. I'm not dogging anybody involved. I'm just saying that's not what I do. But if someone wants to use fire, we're going to make sure 100% that is controlled. It's we don't have guardrails at our shows. We don't do
Oh,
guardrails. There's a
no,
reason we do that. I told you before. I jumped over the guardrail, so I never used. I used guardrails one show, and after that show, we never used guardrails again because there was wrestler in or a manager in this industry that told me that wrestlers would never respect me. That I couldn't be a good booker. I couldn't put on a good product. I wouldn't last more than one show because I'm just some mark that jumped over the guardrail. And when he said that, it hit me, and I'm a rebel. At the end of the day, motherfucker, you tell me I can't do shit. I'm gonna try my hardest to fucking do it now, just because you said I didn't do it, you know, or I couldn't do it. So because of that, we never used guardrails again. There's been one guardrail in AWR since then, and Aiden Blackheart used it for a move, and that's about it.
I mean, the light tubes are another thing. Like, I don't see the sense in why workers will fucking sit there and either eat them or cut themselves. Like, that's. And some of my favorites will do it, like Jun Kasai, Kira. But, like, I took a light tube to show people that, this shit is not fake like everybody cracks it up to be. This is solid. Like, I have a score on my back from one single light tube. They hurt, but the burn afterwards, like after it's cleaned up and you're in the shower, and mostly when you lay down that night, it fucking burned, or it did me. Like,
Yeah.
I went to Home Depot, I bought a 2-pack, I used one, and the pain, it'll last for about 30 minutes, but the burn, dude, it burned all fucking night.
No,
So
I will say like it's a different style thing. I'm not once again sort of like we were talking about the needle and the dick thing. It's not my cup of tea, but I understand the metaphor. I understand what they're trying to show. They're showing that they're so crazy, they're so blood fed, that they're so like adrenaline up, that this stuff is hurting me and cut me up. But look what I'll do. You can't hurt me. And so I understand that. But once again, just like you said, that ain't your cup of tea. That ain't your you don't like that. Me,
yeah,
I think it's a power up taunt thing. That's what you use. That's your gimmick. That if it gets over and it gets the reaction, and you keep doing it, hey, keep doing it. If you do it one time and nobody makes a damn noise, don't do it again.
exactly.
I
So
think it
who's
should be used sparingly. It's sort of like the storytelling, like people bitch about death matches should be storytelling. Well, so should certain things done in a match, just like light tubes. I agree with the majority of people that say light tubes are overused. That's why
thank
most
you.
likely that this tournament is going to piss some people off. And if people watch the last two tournaments, they know we've been slowing down using tubes. So there might be only one match this whole tournament that has glass in it. Every match might just be gimmicks. Like if it's a home run derby, you might not see loose light tubes, loose chairs. If it's on a bat, it's in the match. If it ain't the gimmick, then why is it in the match? That's
I
the
mean,
type of death match I was raised on. When you brought 200 light tubes, that was something. That was like 200. Oh my God, who uses 200 in a match? That's unheard of. Now it's like a minimum in every match you have at least 100. Like,
exactly.
and
I mean,
tubes gonna be
there's.
gone soon, and people are gonna have to accept T8s or I've been searching for tubes for 3 weeks, man, and here in Indiana, T12s are the hardest to find, and I can get T8s all day, all day. I know a place right now with over 2,000 T8s that I could get for very cheap if I wanted, very dirtball cheap. But I'm not gonna hurt my wrestlers to that point. Not saying people that use them or not right because that sometimes that's all they have to do. But if my wrestlers don't want to use them, I'm gonna go the extra mile to get T12. But so once again, glass. I feel like glass is gonna phase out. Deathmatch is a circling wheel, man. But when I got into it, the light tubes meant something, and it cycled around. Deathmatch died, like damn near died, flatlined in a coma, and then next thing you know, it popped back out, and everybody's, we got gussets now, we got this, we got that, it's always going to do that. Deathmatch is going to go down again, and it's going to come back around. Deathmatch is going to go back up. The internet's going to keep it alive somehow. Something's going to pop it to another level. It's going to come back again. It's going to keep going. It's wrestling. It's what wrestling has done since the beginning. Everybody loved luchas. Everybody loved big men. Everybody loved brawling. Everybody loved. It always changes.
It's true. And I think Eric Grant, I may be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he the one that brought in the Terracotta Taipei deathmatch? The broken flower pot things?
That I do not know. That might have been a show I did not see. I'm not going to speak on. So I don't want to be wrong either, because I know the internet will eat me up. Oh, this
Yeah, like
motherfucker, he don't know his shit.
I'm
But
not
I've
for sure
seen
if it
it.
comes from Japan, but I
I've
know
seen
Eric
it. I will
Ryan.
tell you that much. I've seen what you're talking about.
I
So
know
I
Eric
don't know
Ryan was
Eric Ryan.
big on it last
Eric
year.
Ryan is a
Like
monster. Let me tell you, that's one name that we haven't had in AWR. He's one of them dudes that really out here and has done it solid for a while now.
so with you saying that about Eric Ryan, who's some guys that you've never worked that you've always wanted to?
The first one, always the best. Even though every question's the most one is always the first one. Sick Nick Mondo. I
Fuck
know
yes,
Matt.
fuck
I know
yes,
Matt
fuck
Burns
yes.
personally from a lot of conversations, and he actually sent me a pair of his UFOs with an autograph on the UFOs and everything while I was in the hospital, damn near dying on a feeding tube and a breathing tube. Me and Nick Mondo has talked many times. He's a very great person. I love him to death. That I've bugged him and bugged him and if he sees this, he can, even say that I've bugged the shit out of him about coming back. I've bugged him about seminars. I've bugged him about meet and greets. I've bugged him about. That is the one. That's the one that I think we'd have a tour and he'd face everyone in my locker room every night. Like, like I'd want him and Mickey. I'd want him and Eric Dillinger. I'd want him and Del Patricks. I want him and Justin Kyle. I'd want him and I want him with fucking everybody in the locker room. But other than that, like attainable names, I've always Jun Kasai. That's always been I'm a big mark of Jun Kasai. Crimson. A lot of people don't know who Crimson is. He was in WWE as another gimmick, and he came out with. People said TNA when they did the Joker Sting, they stole his gimmick. People know who I'm talking about, but I know him as Crimson. We shit. I can keep going for days, bro. At one time it was Nick Gage, but we had a bad dealing with that situation. So that whatever. Uh, Things are Matt. Um, hmm, whole bunch of people. Yeah, I could keep going for days. I had a list every year of people I wanted to book that I didn't have time to book or I couldn't book. I like to book Satu Jin more. Me and Tatu's been trying to mix together, and just things didn't fall through, or fell through. There's a lot of
Shut up.
things out there I wanted to work with that I never got the chance to work with. Who's Marcus Mathers?
Marcus Mathers is good. I
He's
like
definitely
Marcus.
one. Mm, 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 Anthrax.
Oh,
Anthrax is one. Alex Nabeev.
oh fuck.
Me and Alex spoke for a while when there was a chance. We thought there was a glimmer of chance of him coming over here to the United States. I did. I've talked to him. When I heard he wanted to come over here, I immediately messaged him. I said, "What do you need to get over here? Tell me, so I can try to figure a way so we can see how to make it happen." Then, Aiden Blackheart, shout out. He's one of my guard dogs in AWR. He was trying to help him. We were all trying to get him over. That's another one I love. Still to this day, I know the situation he's got going on, and me talking about walking away. If I ever come back and he's got the chance, I'll jump at it. Um, there's so many that Effie. I always wanted to do Effie and Del Patrick's. I think Lord of the Yard and Effie would make a very good death match slash comedy, but it'd be a good wrestling match also. There's some names, some I'm gonna keep because I don't want everybody to know my secrets. Because I've still been trying Kruger, not the tall Kruger from ICW, but the other Kruger
Michael
from
Cougar.
Arizona. Yes, yes,
Cougar shouldn't
Michael
be
Kruger.
that hard to get a hold of.
It's not that he's hard to get a hold of. You understand on this part, budget,
Ah,
schedule, everything matches up. Just like people ask me why the entrance changed for ADT 5. Because when I had to move it due to issues, Certain people weren't involved because they already had a booking somewhere else, and I've never asked a wrestler to like choose me over someone else. Whoever gets that first booking in, take it. I did that to
Hold on one
everybody.
second.
A little monster wanted daddy.
I had to go get my little girl.
Yeah, man, I know how that is. I got three
Oh.
girls. I got a 15-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 4-year-old. So all girls. That's why my hairline is so gone.
I have a boy that's a 4-year-old that you've seen. I'm thinking he's autistic and ADHD. He has an appointment December to get tested, and I have her. She's be 11 months on the 26th.
Hey, man, all I'm gonna tell you is learn how to back out of them parking lots. And,
Shh. You're
two's a
okay.
handful. Let me tell you, three's a motherfucker. Anything past
Them
three, I
terrible
don't
three
know.
dollars. Does she have a bottle? What's your favorite venue that you've ever ran at?
Overall, the Emerson Theater, and that's because it's a love-hate relationship with that place. I was going to the Emerson Theater when I was 15 years old. I'm 38. So when I tell you it was a full circle, me help running the Emerson as the manager of the venue and doing wrestling shows inside the Emerson, it was just overall complete, milestone. But you know, me and Drake Younger had the conversation. Drake Younger, Indianapolis boy, he actually from the same town and same side of town as me. And we talked about the Emerson Theater and what it felt like for him to be back there with us doing wrestling in a venue that he went to as a teenager. So that would have to be coolest venue would be Marion County Fairgrounds, the same building Victor Bruiser ran in. Everybody knows the ADT 2 weekend with ICW, No Peace Underground, and all that. That was in the same building Victor Bruiser used to run in. And being raised on that era of wrestling, because I wasn't allowed to watch the wrestling in my time, I had to watch my dad's first and then work up to the updated versions. Dick the
Yeah.
Bruiser. Dick the Bruiser is Indiana.
Man, I wish I could get an interview with Sick Nick Mondo.
All right, man. Good luck,
Who?
man. I loved him, and I know me and him has a good joking, time back and forth. But hey, if you can get it, fucking go, bro.
That would, dude. I fucking love Sick Nick Mondo and the shit that he's done for the business. Even though he wasn't in it that long, the impact. He's like wife beater though.
Bro,
Uh,
I still think Mondo was more because if you see when he returned to CZW,
he blew the
in
roof
the
off.
cage, I think it was Cage of Death.
Yeah,
When
catch
he
that.
returned, that pop. I'm sorry, but I feel like CZW never got again or never had one that big. When them lights turned on and you seen him standing there, man, I was watching a live stream and I screamed like a motherfucking kid. I just
So,
that's the god right there.
yes. Who is the biggest vet or most legendary person that you've had in your locker room?
Tatanka or Necro Butcher, Pondo, Mickey Knuckles, to me Del Patrick's, but overall would have to be a tie between Tatanka and Necro Butcher. Slash Mickey.
I was,
Hard.
that's what I
It's
was
hard, but
thinking. One of them two.
those three with Mickey involved, and I've spent a lot of my shows with Mickey in my locker room. So to me, legendary, like to me, I kind of disrespected Mickey and told her I used to watch her when I was a kid, and then come to find out it was actually when I was a teenager, and I was just marking out so much because I was meeting Mickey Knuckles. That I made her feel older than what she actually is because we're around the same age. So yeah, but yeah, so yeah, definitely it was wild with Tatanka. I will tell you because that was a different level of fan. That wasn't me being smart to the business for fanship. That was me as a little kid watching Tatanka, and now that I know he's wrestling for me, and me and Tatanka spent an hour conversating and him giving me insight to the business, something he didn't have to do. And he literally set me down and gave me his input on stuff, and we talked over stuff that maybe we didn't agree about, but we saw each other's points, like deathmatch, like spots, like high flyers and stuff like that. What he thought the business was missing, and what I feel the business was missing. But he gave me a lot of. That was my first show actually trying to put it together and book it. And if it wasn't for Tatanka, it wouldn't have went down the way it did.
I respect that. Who do you think has the best gimmick weapon?
Overall, just like in deathmatch or in wrestling or the
Like
independents,
like the weapon that they come out with. Like Otis carries a straight razor, Remington Roy carries that fucking machete, Sato carries that whatever the hell he calls it,
whatever the
blade.
fuck that blade is, bro.
That
That motherfucker.
motherfucker's deadly.
Yeah, and it's Satu has it, so it makes it even more deadly. Uh Man, it might just be who I am. I'm more old school. I like Chuck's bat he carries. I love
Oh, Chuck
that.
Stunt's
I
back.
love
Fuck
that. Yeah, I
yes.
love it.
Fuck
I've actually made one, so I know how hard it is, and mine's like my barbed wire's maybe that much of the bat, and his barbed wire's all nice and fucking neat and looks like a big ass fucking thing. Like, how the fuck do you do that? And then I won't say Remington Ward's machete. I like Atticus's, or not Atticus, Otis's. I'm big on Otis. Otis is the Ice Cube of independent wrestling. Let me tell you that. I don't know if anybody get that reference, but that's one motherfucker you don't want to fuck with. But his straight razor always got me because it's so low key, but yet like Al Capone gangster type shit. It's just something to it. But it'd be Remington Ward's hammer. I don't know if you've seen the tournament we did when Remington Roar came out with Light Tube made Thor's hammer. Instead of Thor, it was Roar. It was Roar's hammer, and it is a big, huge light tube handle into a big, huge square made light tube like hammer part for the hitting gimmick. He came out carrying that. I don't know why we did it. It was something Rim, Injured, and myself, talked about, and he came out with that motherfucker, and I loved it. I ain't seen it since. I ain't seen nobody do it since, but it's a huge ass fucking hammer made out of light tubes. That's probably my
yes.
favorite one.
Uh, how was it being security for Dax?
Well, I mean, when I worked, I've done security for Dax himself before I did this tour with him and the openers and all that. I was his security then because he didn't have security. Now, the last one, he had his own personal security, but we still, did his security and fixed security, Coleman Lane security. Everybody that was on the tour, we were overall security. Great. Dude is real cool, down to earth. The first time I did security, I was actually running the show for the my partner who promoted the show, but he couldn't make it to the venue that night. So I actually, the first time we did it, I think at the Emerson Theater, I ran the show, dealt with him, helped him get the show ready, blah, all that extra stuff. Real cool, down to earth guy. Second one shows up, I notice he have his own security. We don't overstep people when they have their own security. Artist comes into our shows and they have their own security. We still do our job, but we let them handle theirs. We were handling a room with him one night, the first night of the tour. Walked straight up to me. Hey, man, didn't you do my security at the Emerson Theater? I'm like, yeah, bro. He said, I'm very glad to have you on board. And, luckily, after being with him 8 days, sadly, the first night we had an issue was in Indianapolis, and I had to bob back when someone out the venue during a fight and slammed his face into the floor and a whole bunch of shit. And Dax and his security just looked at me and smiled, nodded. There's a mutual
Oh
respect,
shit.
man. He's a
Yeah,
real
my
good guy,
lady.
though. I'll tell you, he deserves everything he's getting. His music is A1. I love his music. Big supporter of Dax. He's on my Spotify.
I love Dax. My old lady, I got her into Dax. My favorite song is probably "Dear Alcohol," or
Yeah,
uh, yeah, I think that's what it's called.
yeah, it's called Dare Alcohol. From someone I had to quit drinking and always had a big. I was a big drinker. That one hit strong. I have many favorites of Dax, but yeah, that one hit a little close to home.
I mean, coming from a long line of alcoholics, and then I don't really drink, but in my younger days, I would fucking kill a fucking pint of Captain Morgan like it was water. So, kind of feel that, I hit some rough patches in my life, but thanks to the little ones and the family I've made, I'm pretty much situated now. I don't need, to
That's
get
good.
in. I mean, I may sit down and drink a beer or a few cups of liquor every once in a while, but as far as doing it every night or every weekend or something, I just can't do it.
Yeah, I tell everybody all the time, man. It ain't my choice. I quit drinking. Because if I had a choice, like if my body wouldn't fuck up, send me to the hospital, and I had to be down 7, 14 days, feeding tube, breathing tube, all this shit, taking a risk to die, I'd still drink. There's still days, like I said, I was 7 years sober, almost 8 years, and I broke it for a mixed drink, one mixed drink and a beer. And then I thought I could get away with it. So a couple months later, I went to the Redneck Rave to work a gig, and I got too fucked up. I hung out with white people. I don't know how it is because of where I'm from to hang around with those type of white people. But if you ever get a chance to go to a redneck rave with Justin Time, he supports AWR. He's done videos with our Justin Kyle when he was the champion. Real good friends with him. So there you go. Because it's a whole nother level. I got to hang out with Mark Haddock. He's a country rapper, real good guy, real good friend of mine. He taught me about mudding. I've never been mudding before, so he took me out mudding. But I got real fucked up
Yeah,
and drunk and fucked myself up. And bro, after that, I won't even look at alcohol. But I would if I could. Don't get it wrong. I don't blame people that drink. I just tell them, bro, make sure you do it in moderation and make sure you pay attention to your body. When your body start giving you signs that you're getting fucked up and you're hurting for no reason, go to the motherfucking hospital, even for us men. Because my dumb ass didn't. I stayed in a bed for almost 2 weeks, not knowing what was wrong. Couldn't get up, couldn't get out of bed. Next thing I knew, I had a softball cyst, a cyst the size of a softball over my pancreas that could have killed me. So, just take care of yourself and shit. Drink all you want. I have my locker room gets drunk after the show. Fuck. Get drunk, smoke weed, do whatever you do. Hey, any party accessories you do. Do whatever you do, but make sure your kids are taken care of, make sure your health's taken care of, and your bills are taken care of. After that, nobody can tell you shit.
that's true. Have you ever thought about being security for Upchurch?
I have. When
Oh, I fucking
Upchurch was with managed by a good friend of mine by the name of Johnny Cashville. Um, he used to manage him right before he blew up. I mean, he was just getting warm. I think it was his first CD, maybe first or second CD, and he did a show here in Indianapolis. The promoter I was with was like, "Hey, we need some extra people in the building." I went up there. It wasn't real security. It was just watching over, making sure nothing happened. Sort of like we'll say undercover security.
yeah.
We hung out, chilled, real cool guy. I got video with him somewhere on my Facebook. I mean, him hanging out. Real
I
good guy.
fucking love Upchurch and
Yeah, he's a
Adam
real good
Calhoun.
guy.
Them are my two.
I've worked security for Adam Calhoun,
Fuck
Jesse
yes.
Howard, Seth Anthony,
Oh
Doobie, Kasky. I've worked security. I have a bulletproof vest that is completely covered in signatures of every person I've ever worked security for.
that's cool as fuck.
Have we ever done a show with someone, or if we would?
Have you ever thought about tag teaming with another promotion or making AWR mobile, like going state to state, like some
We
promotions do?
Both those questions we have done shows with other promotions. Our first one, our actual very first show was with a Indiana promotion called CCW, Circle City Wrestling. And it was a normal wrestling promotion. They helped us get started, showed us groundwork of wrestling. We did a joint promotion. Show was not recorded. That was a show with Tatanka. That's before I knew I was, my dumb ass didn't fucking book anybody to record the fucking show, and I show up the day up thinking, who's gonna record the show? Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
fuck.
so, so we got little clips every now and then from somebody, but other than that, there's no true clip. Then after that, we did a co-show with I want to get this right so I don't fuck it up. The next co-show was with it was the whole weekend at ADT too, and it was with ICW, No Peace Underground, Paradigm. I think there was another promotion. We rented the venue, but I don't know how many promotions ran. I know I was there for 3 days solid, and it was fucking hell. And there was a lot of bullshit that happened behind the scenes that a lot of people
Oh
know about,
shit.
but we don't talk about. And then the last one we did was with Bill, and I'm fucking up his last name, Bill Menor, VOW. We did a joint weekend. I bugged Bill for 2 years to bring back VOW. I think he finally got tired of me and the other marks, and was like, "All right, fuck it, let's do it." And there was, deeper fuck yous to certain people. Me and him working together in Indiana in a certain venue. And so we did Goddess of Death, our one and only, probably my only women's tournament, just because how everything went and all the bad luck and all the shit that happened at our fucking show that year. It really stressed me the fuck out. But we did that, and he did Lord of Anarchy or his death
Yeah.
match.
Yeah, I think it was Lord of Anarchy or
Yeah,
yeah, something like that.
he did his right after ours, and so I will tell you now. If I had to pick one, I would 10 times over work with Bill 100 million times again. Like working with Bill, he cleans the venue with you. He stayed at the venue until the venue was completely clean with us. I can't say the same about certain other companies and their workers and stuff, but I know that guy went out of his way to make sure everything worked the way. Even when he was leaving, he still had more gimmicks he wanted to give me, but I didn't have nowhere to put them just because he didn't use
Damn,
all his. So, he's real
damn.
good. Now, out of state, we went out of state one time. We were supposed to go out of state to Ohio, and fucking the athletic commission, like, slapped their dick on us and said, you do it. We're going to shut down the venue. So we
Of
couldn't go
course,
there.
fucking Ohio.
We went to Allen. Oh, I'm fucking up. On Michigan fans going to get pissed at me. It was Allen Park or Allentown. I think it was Allen Park, Michigan. We did a no ring show up there, and it did really really good. If you look on the internet, I think we released Eric Dillinger versus Akira in a no ring death match, and I do believe that's when Akira won the revolutionary title off of Eric Dillinger. Don't quote me on that.
If
It's
I
not
had
like
my
I'm the
fucking
promoter or anything. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, it was a
if
banger
I
match.
had my partner here, he could tell you anything you want to know about AWR. I've watched some of your shows. I ain't watched them all yet, but my partner Squirrel, he sits down and he is a fucking diehard AWR fan, and I'm like,
What'd you
I got
say
an
his
interview
name
with,
was? Squirrel?
huh? Yeah, Squirrel.
Well, shout out you, Squirrel. You need to get on move. Tell him to get on the IWTV. Rage watch every show 10 times. Don't turn it off his TV. Sorry, IWTV. But still, run that shit all fucking night over your TV and watch it all, Moose.
Oh yeah, I'm about to tune in because I know that y'all get like money
We
or
get
proceeds or
something.
something
We
out
ain't
of it.
gonna put details out there. I don't talk business like that, but we get a little
Hey, if
something,
it,
something.
hey, if I'll put it like this, if it fucking helps you, I'm in for it, bro. I'm
Yeah,
in.
what's up?
I'm in.
What? Now
As
they
long
might
as
flag you. They might flag me if you get more than like 30, 40 hours back to back. They're going, what the hell are you? Nah, man,
I'm
I just told
rewatching,
this guy
damn
to
it, I'm
just leave it on his
reviewing
TV.
it. I'm rewatching, damn it, I'm reviewing
Yes,
it.
that damn good, bro. The one user wants to watch it 38 times, bro. Come on.
I gotta get it. I gotta get every spot correct. I don't want to mess nothing up.
Yeah. I think that honestly, with watching your interviews and stuff, I think you might vibe with my commentary. I don't know, from what you watch, the way they do commentary. Some purists hate it, but the laid back fan that bullshits and jokes, they might get a kick out of my motherfucking commentary team.
Yes, I love your fucking commentators. I don't know who they are, but there's that one. He's got like a not a deep voice, but it's deep enough. And he was saying something that one time he had Necro, and he was like, He looked at his other partner and was like, something about, do you want to get hit by Necro? He's like, goddamn fuck no. I'm like, fuck yes, that's what I like to
Yeah,
get.
yeah, we got Rocco McSweets. He actually, him and Joey Daylight. That's our commentary's names. They backstory on them. Shout out to both of them. Llama Gang, We World Order for Life. But both of them, when I came into this business and I said I was going to do it, they were my best friends from like wrestling games and internet shit. And they were wrestling fans, and they fully supported me. They're like, Gary, we're proud of you, blah, 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 blah. So when I started getting the knack after the first or second show that, I need to record this shit. So after we record this shit, nobody wants to, some fans at that time, now fans say they like it without commentary. Nobody going in my mind. Nobody's gonna watch wrestling without commentary. You got to have commentary telling what's going on. So I'm thinking this person, that person, this person, and then it kicked in the back of my head. I got two friends that used to produce wrestling shows on YouTube from video games. They would edit it, full clips, all this shit, and they'd make a whole show. I said, why don't I get them involved? Why not I bring my friends that wanted to get in the wrestling industry but had no way to get into it, give them a fucking way in. If I jump the guardrails, come on guys, you're coming with me. Now Rocco works with like 5 promotions, a fucking YouTube broadcast channel. He's killing it out in Colorado. He works for Primos. If you watch
Fuck
Primos Slave
yeah.
to Death, he's the commentator for them. He does a lot of people out there. Joey Daylight, he actually trained at Santino's for a little bit after he started with AWR, and then now he's going a different way because he's a family man and he has to worry about, children and stuff like that. But he got to follow his dream and get into wrestling, so that's where I got them. They came from, and how they do commentary is how we watch wrestling. We'll get into how we used to watch wrestling. We get in Discord and talk our shit. And and that's how it transferred to them coming into commentary. And a lot of wrestlers hate them because they ain't the JR and technical guys, but man, they're like you're smoking with your buddies and you're watching wrestling.
Yeah.
Some references we come up with in that motherfucker is actually shots and shit at people or joking about each other. Because I listen in when they do commentary. I'm like the Vince man. I'm just making sure. You could say that we're not saying nothing to get us canceled, but bro, we're saying everything we can to get canceled. They
I
talk
understand
about
that.
that in one show, and I forget which one it is. Hopefully, someone can point it out, or I can get it to you later. I'm in the headset, but you can't hear me, and we're talking about something during the match, and I said randomly, just to them, because I'm trying to poke them and mess with them while they're doing commentary. I said that's like having lemon pepper flavored cocaine. And out of the blue, Rocco says Gary Emmitt just referenced lemon pepper cocaine during a match. And next thing I know, everybody's joking with me about having lemon pepper flavored cocaine. All because of this fucking this shit. So we have a lot of fun doing it. That's
I
really
know
what it
you
boils down to.
tuned in on Necro and Remington Roar and two others match because it was Necro, Remington Roar, and two other people in that match. So
That
it
was
might have been that one.
if it was all 4 of them, it was the finals at ADT3.
Because it was Necro, Remington Roar. It was the third ADT. I can't fucking
It
remember the other
was
two.
Necro, Remington War, Josh Crane, and Raven Habit.
Yeah.
It
And
was the
I want to
finals.
say that's because I want to say that one of the commentators said that join us in.
Yep,
I'm
that's it.
pretty I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, at
What's
the
one thing
beginning
that you
they were talking about me when I did the smoke gimmick with Joseph Swartz and Tommy Vendetta and SPO. Rest in peace, my best friend. I love you, SPO forever. I did a little what we call cushy baby squat. If people get that reference, they understand who that's a poke at. But I squatted while I hit a joint to make fun of somebody, and he
know?
immediately goes, "Oh, if anybody don't know what he's doing cushy baby squats." So,
What's one thing you think death matches has lost over the years?
uh, boy, I can say so much shit. Um, respect among each other.
I feel like a lot of death matches has lost the story along the way.
Yeah, there's stories depending on what promotion, and it's harder. I want to say the story thing sometimes is harder for promotions depending on their schedule, depending on when they run in. You can't keep somebody if you run one time a month. You can't keep. It's hard to keep people invested in a story 6 months long that you only run one time a month.
That's
So
true.
mine is just pretty much that the death match, I don't know because I wasn't involved in the backstory of it, in the back, the locker room on the days I'm speaking about. But them, you never heard about all this death match drama. You never heard about these wrestlers dogging each other. You never heard about these motherfuckers being disrespectful. And if you shot on each other, you beat the shit out of each other in the ring, and that's where it ended. That's just me.
Um, what show was you most excited to run and why? Like I know you're excited to run all of your shows, considering you're the promoter, but do you have a show that you was absolutely like, I can't wait, I can't sleep, I can't do anything forever?
So far, I have to say this one so I can get the fuck out this industry. But no, just pure excitement from wanting to do the show would be, and it's two different reasons. Would be what was called AWR Fallout Indianapolis. It was right at the beginning of COVID. It was the first show that we could actually run at a decent crowd. You know, supposedly we went over the capacity, but that's the prove it. Um, we saw it was supposed to be. I'm trying to do this without shooting at people. It was supposed to be Nick Gage and Del Patrick. And certain situations happened, some that I wasn't in control of, and that I feel could have been handled better. Ended up with Nick Gage not showing up to the show. Flight issues, transportation issues, whatever issues you want to claim it is or say it is, whatever you want to go by. The promoter bullshit. Um, and I was very excited until I found that out. And then when I got to the venue and seen the line wrapped around the fucking building, it made me even more excited. It
Holy
made,
shit.
it was like, oh my, so it was scared, excited because I had to then explain to all these fans that just packed the venue that, we're supposed to be only having a certain amount of people in. And none of them wanted a fucking reason. When I told him Nick Gage wasn't there and he couldn't honor the meet and greet, he couldn't honor the show because of whatever reason, which is none of the fans, reason to know, that he would not be coming back. If you'd like, you can meet us at the concession stand, blah, 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 for a refund. Not one fan out of the whatever amount of fans, because I don't want to incriminate myself, they did not want a refund. The show from start to finish was a fucking banger. And everybody loved it. Everybody was off their feet, mask on. There wasn't a quiet mouth in the house. And it was
Damn.
fucking amazing. It was when wrestling was dead, when nobody was doing shit, we banged the fuck out all through COVID. And that show
Um,
was just amazing.
what are some matches that you won't have at AWR if there is any?
Do what?
What are some matches that you won't have at AWR if there is any?
What do you mean by that? Like people or gimmick
No,
types?
like some promoters won't do like no rope flaming barbed wire matches. Some won't do like
Like I was saying, the only things that me personally I don't want to do, and the only reason I don't want to do fire is because I want it to be 100% that it's safe for whoever's involved in the crowd involved. So until I can in my mind before the show say this is 110%, nothing's going to happen. I will not touch fire.
I understand that.
Now, if the wrestler decides to do it during the match, that's theirs. That's their, that's up to them. I don't control them while they're inside the ring. You'll never see me run out and try to stop a match unless someone's hurt. And if they tell me they can keep going, I'm gonna let them keep going. Is pigeon spikes? I'll never use pigeon spikes. I will never use. I I don't want to say never, but I would say I would be very iffy about using razor blades.
Ooh, that's pretty intense too.
Yeah, and I will not allow scissors.
Razor
So those are,
wires. Would
yeah,
you? Would you?
razor wire is the same to me. Like razor blade,
Yeah,
razor wire, anything that I could go like this to myself and it gash the fuck out of me, bro. I'm not letting someone get hurt for what I feel, even if it's fair pay or not. Not to do that, it's not fair pay. I don't care if these guys are making 5 grand. I feel like the chance of cutting an artery and dying ain't really fucking worth 5 grand.
exactly. I
But
understand that.
that's my opinion as a promoter. Once again, I am a guy that if I trust both wrestlers involved, then I am a little bit more lenient to stuff. But yeah, those are no nos for me.
So before we started recording, I asked, do people get you and up a lot, or do they say that you look like him? Emerald J.
I've heard Gary J with glasses and bald, and I've heard just in time with not as fancy beard as what he has, because somehow he gets his all magically perfect, and mine just goes whatever way. But yeah, I've heard the Gary J thing,
I'm
and I haven't got Gary J in, but I fuck with Gary J. So that's a compliment to me.
in 2025. Well, you basically answered the question already, but I was going to say in 2025, what can we expect from AWR? But you said that she was going to take you a break, so I understand that.
I
You're
never said the time period of the break. That's
that's
the
true.
thing, and even with saying that, I'm not saying that there is something. What I see and what I hope is I take a few months to do what I have to do for my medical and mental self,
Oh
and,
yeah,
and I bounce back, and we say next year we come back and we smack the fuck out when these fans realize what they had.
I
It's
mean,
gonna be funky. Make
I'm
me
I
want to
don't
put on
care.
another AWR show. Make me want to, take the risk and stuff I do mentally and with my physical health. So, make me, because Indiana I feel is a little watered down. I feel like deathmatch right now is a little fucking watered down, and
Understandable.
it's hard to want fans. I know it from an entertainment perspective, like in concerts. If you have 4 huge shows in a month, you're going to get a little bit more choosy on what shows you go to, and it hurts those other shows. So if there's so many shows going on, why am I going to hurt my budget, my mental health, and do all this just for wrestlers to get paid and a subpar amount of crowd get happy over wrestling? Which I'm okay with that, but with everything going on with me mentally and health wise, it's called a calculated risk, and I'm not taking calculated risks with my life. My daughters will thank me when I'm older.
I'm probably going to piss off some people, but I really don't give a fuck. Your mental health, your actual health, everything's more important than running a show. Even though I enjoy like the few shows I've seen of AWR, you're more important than running a promotion. I'm sorry, but like your
Yeah,
health,
yeah.
you raising your kids, you being around your spouse and all that is way more important than you being at a show and practically dying or could die at the venue and your wife don't have no husband, your kids got to grow up without a father. That's I'd rather have your mental you
Yeah,
stable before you yeah.
yeah, my wrestlers can tell you. There's been and fans can tell you from past posts. There's been times when I AMA the day of a show out of a hospital, damn near dead, high on Proferol and Dilaudid, and came to a show and ran it. With my hospital badge still on, sitting in front. There's actually footage, if I remember, it's a New Blood. I think New Blood 2 or 3. You'll see footage of me sitting in the front row looking like a ghost and not even paying attention to what's going on, just staring out because I'm high on Proferol and Dilaudid. So
Oh shit.
I've literally tried to risk my life over this shit, and it is what it is. I love wrestling, and people that's inside the AWR know why I do it. Me and SBO had this conversation, and The reason AWR is ran the way it is because I don't play politics. I think it's kind of why I don't AWR as a whole don't get the notice that we get is because we're not in the drama. We're not in the stirring up shit and try. The only beef I ever was with some rotten ass bear in Jeffersonville, Indiana, but we killed that motherfucker. We ain't worried about that one no more. But we don't do that shit. So all I wanted was the people that deserved it to get seen. That's really what I did. When I wasn't, if you pay attention to our shows, yes, we pulled in the big name to pull some fans in, but it was never focused around anybody other than local talent. Akira, Remington Roar, Eric Dillinger, Justin Kyle, all these names that came from AWR that was Indiana names that was either death match or wasn't even on that spectrum yet. Now look at them. They're traveling to Japan. They're traveling across the world. They're winning tournaments. They're on
Exactly.
TV. They're, man, all I ever wanted was what I was supposed to do as an independent company was to get wrestlers to the next level and help AWR maybe come up a little bit with them while we push them to the next one. Turn around, grab some more stars, do it again. Turn around,
Fuck
grab some more, do
yes.
it again. That's what we were supposed to do. And once again, with those names I'm naming, they did their own. Their skill helped put them where they are. But brother, to say that I helped them on them first fucking steps, that means more to me than anything. When nobody gave a fuck about half our locker room, I gave a fuck because I seen talent in them, and they deserved the love that they got. So that's why I did it.
Um, what is your hobbies when you're not doing them boys security or AWR?
Smoking pot and spending time with my kids. I'm a very big marijuana advocate of using it for any fucking reason, even just getting fucking high. Marijuana has been around me for a very long time, so I am a very strong supporter of marijuana. Hi, Jarge Cannabis in Michigan. I love you. Hi, Best Buds Depot in Ohio. I love you. Quick shout out to some people I fuck with. Hi, my local growers from both states that I fuck with. And both are very good caregivers. But man, I got my homie Rocco. We play Call of Duty whenever we can. Well, I'm a big. Lately, I've been playing DayZ on PlayStation. I'm a big DayZ fan. People
I
hate that game, but I love it because I love the survival. You got to drink, you got to eat, you got to survive, you got to, find shit to build shit. It's like grown up zombie Minecraft. It's fun as shit. It's fun as fuck, especially if you get the right community server with the right people playing around. You're gonna have so much fun. Other than that, work, bro. All I do is fucking work. The past 2 weeks, I
100%.
think I've got one day off. I'll work open and close at my day gimmick. I'll turn around, go work 8 hours at a venue, maybe 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, then turn around, go on tour for 2 days, and come back, go back to work. Now I'm chasing a big ass bag right now.
Shit, I play a lot of Red Dead and God of War Ragnarok. So
I fuck with Red Dead, man. I really do.
yes, yes,
I caught
love
my
me some
wife
Arthur
getting
Morton.
involved in it. She was watching me play, and she was sticking to the story. And she's like, "Are you gonna keep going on that mission? What happens next?" So yeah, I fuck with some Red Dead, man. Until you get to the mission where dude gets sick. I always try to like do all the side missions and all the missions around that, so I ain't got to get sick. When he gets
Oh
sick, it
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
it always fuck with me. I don't know if he finished the game, so I'm not gonna say anything else, or
yep.
if you fan out there hasn't finished the game. I don't know how you haven't yet, but yeah, after he gets sick, that shit is depressing as fuck, bro. To be honest.
I bought the game when it first came out, right? And
Mhm.
when the main what happens to Arthur, my wife literally caught me crying. She's like, "Are you crying?" I'm like,
Bruh,
"Yes."
bruh, bruh.
She's
We
like,
ain't even
"Why are
talk
you
about this
crying?
because I'm
It's
supposed
just
to
a
be a
game."
hard ass, but bro, my
I'm like,
allergies were acting up, man.
I'm like, it's not a game. Then it'll be a damn if I call her crying over a movie character. Oh, no,
Yeah.
it was when Sam and Dean died in Supernatural season 15. They was on the bridge. She started crying. I was like, now who's the crybaby, huh? Well, I was making fun of her.
I do got to say the Arthur situation was sadder. I've seen both of them, and I was involved in both of them because I love both. I'm a Supernatural fan. My wife is a Supernatural fan too. But Arthur, bro, that shit hurt. That shit
Um,
hurt.
my top three deaths for me would be Opie from Sons of Anarchy, Arthur Morgan, and I gotta fucking say John Marston. Like the way they just done John Marston in the first one was fucking cruel.
You just gonna leave Mufasa out of this?
I mean, Mufasa kind of fucked up my head when I was younger. Mufasa.
Bro, Mufasa hurt everybody. I don't care who you are. When Mufasa throw off that motherfucking gimmick and got trampled, man, I don't care who you are, how tough you are. It still hits a certain chord. Ugh. But yeah, I agree. I agree.
Uh, who would you say is the most brutal person that you've ever worked?
Brutal as in honest or brutal as in the ring?
Brutal as in the ring, like fucking.
Justin Kyle or Mickey Knuckles?
I, I gotta say Mickey.
Necro's up there, but just because Necro is like, I'm not saying he ain't dangerous with anything else. Necro's dangerous with them hands. Like if Necro get them fucking hands on you, bro. I've had conversations with people he's punched, and you know the video has proved certain people's reactions to getting punched by him. They're not to fuck with. Like yeah, and I'll be honest, he's up there. He's like the third. But Mickey Knuckles, I've seen do some stuff. I've learned not to tell Mickey Knuckles not to do nothing. I learned to live, you know, the Justin Kyle is bro. Justin Kyle's the most underrated fucking big guys monsters in this fucking industry, from WWE all the way down to independents. If I seen Justin Kyle first Rhino, and he almost pulled my canvas off the fucking ring from being tied down, pulling on it, and so hype. I've seen Justin Kyle, you know, put his hand through doors, put his hand through fucking chairs. That is the most intense, crazy motherfucker besides Nicky that I know.
I'd like to get Bryant Woods versus fucking Justin Kyle. That'd be a goddamn fucking
I just
match.
seen Sando talking about doing a tough man contest that we actually tried before, but a lot of people were scared to taking it close. And I've seen a couple of like a Justin Kyle versus Slack in a shoot fight.
Oh, that one was fucking.
That right there, I would pay top dollar. I would even probably invest in booking that match if we can get a shoot. And I love both, man. Slack is a monster. I've you know worked with Slack one time and been around him a couple times. And Slack is a very good guy, but he is a fucking monster. And fucking Justin Kyle. Justin Kyle is AWR's bull master. Always have been, always will, regardless if he's in the ring or not. That's once again, there's only a couple people in this industry I'll say this about, but that's my fucking brother. I talk to him more than I talk to family. Even
I
to
tell you
this day.
another crazy ass motherfucker. That's damn it, he's on the tip of my Masada.
Masada. Yeah, I've heard. You know, we tried to, you know, work with Masada once or twice. You know, we couldn't paint everything out, but that's what I've heard. So I wouldn't go against that.
Sorry about that.
So, brother,
But yeah, I heard
once
Masada
again,
was like,
I'm a father too and a husband. I'm surprised I made it this long without a yellow one.
yep. My boy's wanting to wild out, and it's been a day for me ever since I returned back from Carnage Cup Sunday. It's been I ain't even got a chance to sit down.
It's a welcome home. Yeah, welcome home.
Dude, the first
Welcome back
night
to
I
the
passed the
show.
fuck out. Last night I was like, well, I'll stay up, game, watch a little bit of Gotham on TV or something. Yeah. I got a shower. I got out. I looked at my lady. I was like, I'm going to bed. She's like, what? I'm like, I'm going to bed. Next thing you know, I'm She's like, I went to bed after you. I'm like, damn, that's a surprise.
Yeah, but I've been working nonstop and trying to get everything ready for this tournament. Me and my oldest stayed up to about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning last night making gimmicks. Passed out, went to bed at 8 in the morning, or went to work 8 in the morning, worked all day, came home. Almost forgot about this. While I'm eating steak dinner, I look down, I'm like, oh shit, hold on. I got to hit up Moose real quick. We got this one. So, bro, that's why I told you the other day. I'll work in, we'll get it done. But I'm nonstop. I'm nonstop until Thursday, and I work half the day Thursday, and then I'm half the day Thursday. After that, I'm at the venue setting up. Friday we're doing the show. Friday night I'm staying at the venue until it's clean, and then Saturday I have off. Sunday I turn around, go right back to work, and return back to real life.
Yeah, whenever the slap fight, whenever the video actually drops and everything's updated, I'll screen record it and send it to you. My slap fight, because I know you commented on it. Yeah, it was something different. It was
Well, I
something
mean,
different.
if you a little itchy at that, I don't know how Deep South is with Aiden anymore, but Aiden won the Juggalo slap contest, right?
Yeah, Aiden was in there at one time. I don't know if I'm pretty sure that Kevin would work him, but I don't know if Aiden.
I'm not saying it has to be there. I'm just saying, I've heard Aiden won the Juggalo slap contest. I heard you're doing good in that slam contest. I think when you're ready to step up and get some clout, you might want to holler at the clout master, the clout daddy,
The
my guy,
fucking
the
daddy.
Flocka, holler at
The
Mr.
fucking
Flocka
daddy.
himself, Aiden Blackheart.
I think I'll give my spot up to Slack. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna tell you, Aiden is a monster, bro. Same thing I said about Dell, I'll say about Aiden. Aiden is one of the deathmatch guys that does not get the respect that he deserves. He's a fucking workhorse, and I do not understand. It might be political, it might be something else I don't know of, but I know Aiden personally and business. He is a fucking monster, and nobody gives him that fucking shot. ICW gave him a shot one time, I think it was. But other than that, I put on Aiden every fucking year, and I can't see why people ain't on him too, because he is a monster. He can take an ass whooping. He can lead a locker room. He, he's a good guy. Everybody asks me my guard dogs at AWR. The first two you got to get through to get into AWR is Aiden Blackheart or Del Patrick's. If you want to get to me, it's not political. It's just I know if these boys give you the thumbs up, then you deserve a shot. And their repertoire has spoke for it. The names that came through both those guys through AWR have proven to do something.
I'm gonna have to go through and interview your locker room. I,
Oh, and
I've
most of them will
interviewed.
do it. If you need me to network, I can put it in and tell them, hey man, if you ever open for an interview, most of them will jump on. We used to run a podcast. It's called Chronicles of the Asylum, and before that's where my ring announcer started. He started doing our podcast, and so we used to interview them all the time. Like for 3-4 months, we had John Wayne Murdoch, Akira, Raven Havoc, Alex Ocean. Like, there's a whole bunch of episodes you can go back and see of our podcast with all these names that
I'm
we
gonna
just,
check that out.
yeah, tell you, Chronicles of the Asylum. They got their own, Max. His name's Mad Max. He's got his own page for it. It's called Chronicles of the Asylum. And all of them, except for, I think, the very first one, are video.
Is it on YouTube or Facebook or?
It's on some are on our YouTube, but it's on Facebook. If you go to their Facebook, Chronicles of the Asylum with a K, but not with a C. You go with the K, Chronicles of. I'll even send it to you after the interview. I'll send you the page.
Definitely. Like, I've interviewed just about everybody out at Deep South, so I was like, AWR has Gary Emmitt has a hell of a fucking locker room, and one of the guys that I've been dying to interview is fucking Hoodfoot.
That's
I
my
fucking
motherfucking brother.
love
I was, I
Mo.
was just I was just talking to Hoodfoot yesterday. That's my motherfucker. That's another
That
one.
man,
That's a dude that I've went to war for. When I first met Hoodfoot, nobody knew he did. I don't know if he did deathmatch or nobody knew he did deathmatch. He showed up in his work gimmick, like, "Hey man, you got a spot for me?" It was like a new blood or a show. I'm like, I talked to a few people, they vouched for him. I was like, "Come on," and he ran, and he did like one match with us, two matches with us. Then he went around, did a whole bunch of wrestling, came back, started doing death matches with us, and then blew the fuck up, took the world over, did some dumb shit about stabbing himself with somebody, and then fucking, he was actually, when we crowned the first African American deathmatch tournament winner, and that was Hoodfoot. So that dude, he deserves it, man. If you look at AWR, you'll see they used to call us the Misfit Toys of Deathmatch Wrestlers, or the Misfit Island of Deathmatch Wrestlers,
Fuck
because it was
yes.
everybody that wasn't given the shot, or they, people gave him shit. When I started with Mickey, Mickey didn't have to work with me. She was
Yeah.
coming back into wrestling, and I will say that the first thing I thought was the situation I had going on with somebody else. If I could get Mickey Knuckles on my side instead of the, being an opponent, it'd be a good look. And then after her very first match with us, I was like, no. I said, Mickey deserves this. And Mickey has banged out so many fucking times with us. That's even though she tells people Aunt Mickey's not Aunt Mickey no more, that'll always be my Aunt Mickey. My kids literally call her Aunt Mickey. They have pictures with her while she's covered in blood. Like, yeah, that's
Hell
I love her to
yes.
death too.
If you ever need somebody for a wrestling show, you should hit up Remedy.
Remedy. Tell Remedy to hit me up. I mean, like I said,
That's
I'm taking a little break, but if they hit me up and they shit look good, and then they can get past the guard dogs. If the guard dogs give them the thumbs up, then I'll give them an opportunity every year except for this year. I stopped doing my list this year. I had 60 to 90 people that were new to me that I wanted to get into AWR. They either hit
damn.
me up or that the fans hit me up and asked me to bring in. I'm
I'll
all
send
about giving people
I'll
opportunities.
send you over some.
Well,
Aside of the promoter, how do you feel about the boys that work at Deep South? And I'll know to like send some your way.
I'm open. Listen, working for Deep South don't mean shit to me. You got to have skill. You got to have mic work. You got to be willing to promote your fucking show and come in and do what I ask you to do. I mean, that's really all it is. If I see something in you, there was for a while we did the New Blood shows. There was a gimmick
Mhm.
to where you had to do 3 New Blood shows, and if you showed me something in 3 New Blood shows, you get put over to the main roster. Well, I got tired of doing fucking so many fucking shows a month while I was doing everything else. I stopped doing New Blood. So now, if you can get my attention and show me you got something to offer, I'll give you an opportunity at least once. I've done it with
All
so
right.
many.
I'll send you over some guys that I know.
Yeah, now if you beat on women and you do stupid shit like that, stay the fuck away from me.
If they what?
Just being honest.
If they what?
If they beat on women or do stupid shit like that, then stay away from me. Cause you come my way with that silly shit, bro, you won't like our locker
Respect.
room. I promise.
Respect.
I promise you won't like it. If there's
Respect.
stories of you talking to young age girls or you doing this or you doing that and you come this way, bro, we don't do that. You
Nope.
do
Nope.
not want
Nope.
to come. That and if you are untrained and you don't treat the boys with respect, you don't want to come this way because you will get booked to get your ass whooped.
That's asking for a setup. I mean, right there, that just said it. PP touchers, fucking women beaters, fucking the list goes on.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Well,
respect that fucking answer. There's You don't get a better answer than what you just said, so I respect that to no
that's on
limits.
your list. I don't care about none of that other shit. You could have been trained by Triple H himself. Yeah, if you do any of that weird shit, bro, nah, you're gonna get these hands, bro. You will not
Exactly.
be accepted into our locker room. I keep remembering
Exactly.
I got to repeat to you now.
How was it having Necro Butcher and Nate Webb on your show?
Amazing. Yeah,
Huh?
it's amazing. I'm a mark. At the end of the day, I'm a mark. Me and Al Snow have this conversation about marks. We're all marks, or we wouldn't be in a business that you try to put yourself over and love yourself. We're all marks. So when I'm sitting down with Necro
Six months outside.
and he's just we're having conversations. That's what pushes me more than just is the people will let me pick their brain. They will talk about the business and they respect my opinion and my viewpoint and ask me questions. Vets has been in this when I was a kid. Bro, that means the fucking world. Necro Butcher sitting down with me, talking to me for a good 20 minutes in his underwear, doing what we do good, do best, and him taking his personal FAFO hat and signing it and giving it to me. So if you ever see me security, that's Necro's one that he gave me. That was amazing. And Nate Webb was a little different, but it was still the same feeling. Because I respect the fuck out of Nate Webb, Indiana Star, deathmatch guy, 100%. I tried to get him in for a while. It didn't work. I don't know if it had to do with other reasonings, but then we finally got together and we talked and found out it had nothing to do political. It was just schedule and stuff didn't match up. But it was amazing. Him and Mickey tore the fuck down, and hopefully he gets better. And if he can go again, hey, and I'm back, my door will be open to him. I respect the fuck out of Nate Webb.
Hell yeah. Sorry about all the background noise.
You're good, brother.
Have you ever thought about bringing or using any of the international boys? If so, from what country?
We spoke about Alex Nabu. That's probably my number two. Jun Kasai is definitely my number one. Me
Mm.
and my partner, we've let it be known because I always shoot. We've tried for 3 years to find 100% pure connection to Jun Kasai that isn't tied into extra bookings or someone else getting put over or someone else getting an extra booking because they know how to talk to Jun Kasai or how to get a hold of him. We want Jun Kasai. That's like our God wish since we started deathmatch. Um, mm, mm, um, I fuck with Big Joe. Um, I fuck with where's the other guy? Fuck, I'm gonna get so much shit for this. There's another guy from over there that I've talked to 3 or 4 times, and he's gonna know I'm talking about him. He comes over here all the fucking time. We
Danny
just hang out.
Darko?
No, he's one of them too. Let that be known.
Joe
Uh,
Bateman?
do what?
Joe Bateman?
Yes, bam, Bateman.
Love Joe
Me and
Bateman.
Bateman have talked like 83 times, and I've been trying to get him. I'll keep asking him on my dates. Are you in the U.S. around this time? Are you free this time? Let's get you in. Very good guy. Love to work with him. Yeah, I respect what he does. I respect the whole don't give a fuck attitude, but yet still treat other workers with respect in the ring. And he's very skilled at what he does. So Joel Bateman 100%. Alex and Beeve, 1,000,000%. Jun Kasai, I would give my left testicle because I don't need no more kids. So, uh, you know, there's a lot of guys, and there's probably guys I'm missing right now just because I know so many names and I'm a face person. I'm not a name person. So, there's probably a whole bunch out there that I'd love to get in with.
Would you ever work Takeda or Sakuda?
Is Sakura? Yes. Kato? Yeah, I would. See, those guys are very talented. Yes, if I had it for sure, and I'm not trying to, break kayfabe. If I had it for sure, a lot of those guys come with, you got to know someone to get with them. If I could get them by themselves, yes.
What would
If
you
it
do?
if it involved politics and I had to book some other people just to get it done or pay other people to get the conversation done, I don't do that type of business.
What would you do if I say I know a guy that lives in Japan that can probably get you Takeda? It's dead
Well,
ass.
I mean that's a conversation we could have off this video. When maybe if I thought about or when I do think about returning, that we could possibly talk about and work out. Because I've talked to people that know people, or I've talked to people that are connected with them. And like I said, a lot of things that I get at this level, promoter or independent, is it always comes with baggage. It always comes with someone wanting something or someone wanting over because they got a connection. I'd be very interested in their talent is very amazing, but I'm not going through 36 people and putting someone over and doing this and that just to have a wrestler. And we got so much talent here that isn't getting put on. I like
Yeah,
to that. That's
I
what I
understand
feel.
that. Yeah, I was like, yeah, because my translator, which if you watched any of the Japanese videos, hey, Danny can probably get one of the Japanese boys over here because he could talk to him and chat. And I honestly, Danny wouldn't take anything, and I don't see the sense in
Yeah,
get
I mean,
anything from.
see, when I say that, I don't want people to think like I'm talking about a translator coming over with them or something like
Oh
that.
yeah,
Yeah, what I'm talking about is other wrestlers that have connections into them, saying that they have to be booked on the show too, or they have to do this. Yeah, that's the part that I've ran into a lot.
that's
People wanting to pay
bullshit.
for
What?
connections or some shit. Yeah, bro, this industry, and I told you before, and I put it on Facebook. This industry isn't what you guys think it is, bro. All this shit that you be seeing on the internet and these people talking big dog and all this, what they do, man. I know a lot of information about these boys that they really wouldn't want out in the internet world, or they wouldn't let their coats get pulled up and show they thongs they got underneath their drawers. You know, this industry isn't what they put on the internet, bro. Real talk. Dealing with the promoters I've dealt with, dealing with the some wrestlers that I've dealt with, because I've had majority good dealings with wrestlers. But there's a lot of people out here that one ain't tough, and two do a lot of dirty business and treat people like shit, but they act like they're like God's gift to independent wrestling.
I understand that. What is it like having Rhino on your show?
Having who?
Rhino,
Rhino, fucking amazing, bro.
man, I fucking love
We
Rhino.
did a seminar, and he taught a lot of stuff to a lot of the guys that was there, and women, and whoever was there for seminars. He taught him a lot. He worked with Justin Kyle amazingly and did exactly what we were looking to do for Justin Kyle. Because everybody, a lot of independents go through about their champion beating the fuck out of everybody, and you need him to
Yeah,
bring in names to make it more believable. Um, Rhino versus Justin Kyle was fucking amazing. Rhino helped in our eyes in Indiana and in AWR. It helped take Justin Kyle to another level because all he was facing was deathmatch guys or Indiana guys. There was no certified names, and then you get the Madman Fulton, the Rhino. We started pitching other than deathmatch guys to show that he had another style of wrestling to him.
hell yeah. Overall, would you say it's harder to do a no ring death match or a ring death match?
Ring deathmatch. I won't even let you finish. Ring deathmatch. There's
I
so
mean,
much
I
shit.
go ahead. I kind of figured that though, that it would be harder because you got to set up, you got to get the ring, set it up, put everything together and all that. And with the no ring, you just walk in the venue and
You go.
there
And
it
depending
goes.
on what the venue wants, some venues have restrictions on when you do no ring. I've done like two or three of them. Luckily, one of them we did was in our own venue, so nobody really gave us a fucking restriction. We did whatever the fuck we want. But I feel it's easier because you don't have to set up the ring. Cleanup is very manageable when you're on the floor and you can tarp it off. Or to me, cleaning up a floor is a lot easier than cleaning up a ring, then tearing the ring down. My main thing is the ring. If it wasn't for that, bro, I'll let it be known. We've thought about doing no ring only. It's been a conversation of just doing no ring because it's so much easier financially and for venues. When you're not the owner of your own venue, it's a lot easier clean up and
I
moving
understand
in
that.
and moving out.
Out of everyone you have worked, who would you say is the top three bleeders on your roster?
Hayden Blackheart, Mickey Knuckles. I want to say third is tied between Akira and Remington Roy. Because Akira at the end of the AWR, I mean, besides taking it almost fucking dying, that, but he started getting it like you see now, the whole back color, the whole, arms
Yeah.
covered. Yeah, at the end of when we started messing with he started doing business with us and going into ICW and further into the other ones. Yeah, he was bleeding like a stuffed pig. Remington Ward bled. Mickey Knuckles bleeds real bad. So yeah, those would be
Do
the
you?
names I'd say.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, so no, those were the names that I would say are top leaders that I've seen
Uh,
in AWR.
do you plan on running another female only death match like
The Goddess of Death. Yeah,
I wrote that
I
wrong?
want
Yeah.
to. I want to. Yeah, you might get me in trouble with a certain somebody because of the goddess name, but I got hell for that shit. But we won't talk about that. But yeah, I want to. Let me put it like that. And the only reason I don't want to is because in 6 years it was my most stressful show.
Oh
It was my
shit.
most drama filled. It was just holiday timing. I just think it was just my bad luck. Flights got canceled. We had shows set back to back. Got us to death, and the next night we were supposed to be back at our home venue called the Emerson. Well, the Emerson Theater is owned by my partner and his partner. His partner booked a show and didn't tell us that it was on the calendar, so we had to cancel our second show. Well, then three other flights for the tournament got canceled. So then
Oh.
I could only save one flight. And that was just due to finances. I'm not going to, and this is all clarity. If your flight was $200 and the next day after it gets canceled, the only flight is $1,000. Sorry, bro. Uh, Cards subject to change, man. I'm not these companies that value myself or not value myself that are making so much income that I can afford to just take a $800 loss like that. It
That's
happens.
understandable.
So, I had to make decisions as a promoter, which, to be honest, is the suckiest decisions ever. And that's who was financially available that we could save and make the show go on at the best quality that we could. And if you watch the show, you will see who was still there, who wasn't. So, I mean, that's the only reason that it was so fucking stressful. I stayed at that venue till 4 in the morning cleaning it with just me and like two other people because a lot of wrestlers don't like to clean anymore. Pew pew. So yeah, I would love to, and I actually in my phone because I have Notepad in my phone. I actually have a tournament pre-booked, like who I'd want, and it's right now it's at 12 females, 12 women,
Oh shit.
and it's names that I like that I think deserve a shot, and some names that you could already guess because they are the top name in women's death match. So I mean, I've thought about it plenty of times. I actually have a graphic for Queen of the Ring, and then WWE copyrighted it, so I couldn't use that graphic and use that name. I didn't want no bullshit, so that's when we got the Goddess of Death, and I still got bullshit for it. But yeah, so I've thought about it, and I'd want to, but it'd have to be like guaranteed. Like I'm not going to be as stressed as I was like the last one.
That's understandable. Um, would you like to drop any of your social medias, up and coming shows, promos, etc.?
Let's see. Everybody knows my personal Facebook, which I wish they didn't, but someone's got to be the face of this shit, so it ended up being me. Gary Emmitt. Gary like Indiana, Emmett like Smith. If you're not old enough to get that reference, then you don't need to add me on Facebook.
I've heard that
Um,
one. I'm trying
Silent
to think
Wrestling.
of it.
Emmett
I'll
Smith.
probably I'll probably get it sometime tonight. I've heard of
It,
that one
it,
though.
Emmett Smith. Gary like Indiana, Gary Indiana, and Emmett like Emmett. Yeah, you can't edit that. You gotta keep that one in. But how you
Oh
don't
my
know,
god, Andrew.
man? Come on. But and then our Facebook is Asylum Wrestling Revolution, all one word. I'd say the best way to get a Asylum Wrestling Revolution is just go to www.asylumwrestlingrevolution, all one word.com. That sends you to a link tree that has all our websites. Come here. You're okay. You're not going to be on camera. My wife come mouth in the lighter. Hey, can you give me one then? They're gonna see on the podcast how you be mean to me. I know. But yeah, if you go to our website, it's a link tree that goes to our Facebook, our Instagram. You can keep that open. Our Facebook, our Instagram, our X. I don't know if that's new, Twitter or X, whatever the fuck it's called now. It goes to our YouTube. It goes to our IG. It goes to our merch shop. So I ain't got to drop all that shit. If you want to go, just go to the website and you can go to everything AWR. After wrestling, you never know. My OnlyFans might pop up on there.
Fuck.
Gotta make some mistake with.
So there's two that has OnlyFans. I know Dale does. And the way that I found out Dale has an OnlyFans was I can't remember if it was AWR or No Peace Underground or something, but somebody brought up that they was like, go sub to Dale Patrick's OnlyFans.
We always
And
did. We
and
actually put his OnlyFans one time on a door, like the link, like a
oh my
website, and
god.
then at ADT2 we sprayed OnlyFans on the door, just OnlyFans for no
Oh
reason,
my
just to fuck with Daryl.
fucking god.
If I don't know if that OnlyFans is still active, but I'm telling you, if you are interested in why we call him thick, go check out Del Patrick's OnlyFans. You'll find out the real reason. Love you, Del.
I have one of my fans. She subbed to me, and some shit went down, and she accidentally seen something she wasn't supposed to. And if you scroll through the comments on one of my videos, she's like, "There's my skinny long moose," and I'm like, "No, goddamn, no! That was never subject to hit you. You wasn't supposed to see it. I don't even know how the fuck you got this picture." And she's like, "Oh, well, it's mine now." I'm like, "Fuck
Yoink.
you!"
Yoink. Yeah, but
But
that's all it's so you can get us at IWTV. We're on IWTV2. Go watch that shit like 90 fucking times. Run that counter up. Every dollar helps the fans, helps the wrestler.
exactly. But if you have any questions or anything, go ahead and ask.
No, I mean, what would you like to see from AWR?
Oh God, there's so much.
If I did one more show, say we did ADT next year, 8 names you'd want to see in ADT.
8 names. Okay. I
If
gotta, I gotta,
fans watching, you guys give me your 8 names too.
I gotta take Bryant Woods first. You know, he's a big guy. He's a monster. Um, I, I gotta say another Deep South boy that I'm really, really, really close to, and that's Brian White.
Well,
Um,
I've seen a lot of Brian White stuff actually. You're talking about the Boo If You Love Me?
yeah, Boo, if you
Yeah,
love
he
it.
actually let that be known. He runs our asylum group. He's the one that created our asylum group. I know Brian.
Oh
Brian knows
shit.
me. I boo if I love it. Let that be known. I fuck with Brian, man. That's one of those situations of getting it to work when it needs to.
I gotta say Tommy Trainwreck for my third one.
I fuck with Trainwreck heavy. I just got him in at our show. We did the fuckery rumble. You gonna walk around with me with that? But we did a fuckery rumble, and Tommy came in, and I think he did him, Remington Roar, and Mickey Knuckles. And
My
when that drops, it's gonna be fire. I'll tell you that because, like I said, we're dropping ourselves a little late because of us leaving. I want to give the fans something to watch while we're gone, so they get our last 3 episodes right after ADT. After we record and edit it. But yes, Tommy Trainwreck, a monster.
my fourth one, I'm still kind of new to him, but Dysfunctions, I think he said his uncle, and that's Bobby V. Uh, he's another
Dysfunction.
one.
If you're talking about Dysfunction from ICW Milwaukee,
I think so. He said I seen him at a cup, Bobby V, and he said Dysfunction was his cousin or his uncle.
yeah, Dysfunction is a real good dude. I'll tell you right now, and I've gotten wrestlers that were recommended by him. So if he's tied into dysfunction, it's an open door policy this way.
My fifth one, I'm trying to think of guys that you've never had or I've never seen. I definitely gotta say Alex Stretch from H2O.
Love fucking LA Stress. We had him luckily in ADT3. He was in there.
Did I
He
miss him?
came in. He came in to do. I think it was. I don't even. Yeah, came in to either do one match or something like that. And I asked him if he wanted to stay a little bit longer because of certain bookings and situations that happened and people that were calling off. So, and he showed the fuck out. If you haven't watched all of ADT3, go back and watch it. Him and Matt Tremont, banger ass fucking match.
My sixth one, I'm honestly gonna have to say Carnage.
I've seen a lot of Carnage's work.
Like he does fire, but he's really good with fire. Like if you know he's good with fire. My seventh one, Jesus. That I gotta say homeless Jimmy. Honestly,
Listen to me. I know him and I'm gonna get shit for this. The guy he rides with. Fuck,
uh,
Jason D. Good. I forget his gimmick name. You gonna make me hold on.
uh,
If my turned off
Hellaware
real quick.
Assassin. I think.
Yeah, Hellaware Assassin. Yep, that's Hellaware Assassin's the homie. So I've talked to him about him and homeless Jimmy. We'll put it that way.
My eighth one is because this guy is so fucking crazy. Like you can ask him to do anything and he'll do it, and that's Little Sicko.
No Diddy.
I
Um,
mean this boy man, whatever, is fucking nuts.
Me and Lil Sicko has talked, and I'll tell you, he's on my radar.
Fuck yes, bring him up.
He's on my. If you're on my radar, all it takes is for me to have an open spot and you to be open. And once again, we've spoke, so he's there. It's just right now. I'll tell everybody, ADT5 is for AWR. JJ Allen, JJ Escobar, JJ Allen, whatever people want to call him. I've heard both ways of calling him a name. He's been on my radar for 3 years, and due to certain situations, injuries and stuff, we couldn't get him, and stuff went sour. Luckily, this year we're making it fucking happen. Why not be the last one? The guy that was banned from Indiana that supposedly I paid to make Ian lose his building, coming to wrestle the last AWR show.
I gotta say though, if you bring whatever Little Sicko up, give him a hot spot. That boy can. God,
I've been trying to work on a high spot for a while, man, and in situations. The venue we're at is a very tall building, and I had a couple wrestlers say they wanted to jump off it, and unfortunately, the venue owner won't let me do that. So believe me, if it comes to a spot, I know that's his gimmick. I know he does some amazing high spots, and if I like to tend to stick to people's stuff when they come in. So I'm not saying it wouldn't happen if you catch my drift.
I gotta say though, I don't know if I said Matthew Justice.
We've had him in. He faced Justin Kyle, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I I, I respect that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna shoot. I'm not gonna talk shit. I'm just gonna
I,
leave it like that, bro.
I respect that to the extreme, bro. I respect that.
I'll tell you what. Watch the match and you'll understand.
All right. I'm trying to think of another one because I got him on the fucking tip of my tongue. If we're going like international though, you have to bring over Kobayashi sometime.
Hmm. I'll tell you, I'd be very interested in that. I'll tell you, he's on the list of international names. If I'm going international, it's Alex and Beeve or June Kasai. If it's like a have
Alex,
to, like Alex, I'd hate to say this, and I probably get shit for this. If I had to make a choice and I had both of them, I'd probably take Alex.
Been waiting for 2 hours. Is she asleep?
I would love to have
Here.
Alex Nabib's first death match in America.
He's been waiting for 2 hours to go to bed. Damn. I like Alex Nabib. I like what he has. He's a crazy man.
Yeah. I think, and it's no shot at June. I fucking love him, and I'm a big mark for him. I just think because of who we are and how we work, I'd rather give Alex Nabib an opportunity first before I gave an international star that's already made their name everywhere an opportunity.